Hi, my name is Ruta and you are witnessing a hair challenge and also a mood diary where I'm doing 100 different hairstyles every day for 100 days in a row, and I'm also sharing my moods, how I'm feeling and what's going on in my life. So today we are on a day number 94 and we're gonna do this awesome hairstyle called, I kept it for when I'm gonna be back from my holiday, and I am back from my holiday today. The hairstyle is called Plait with Ropeplait Updo, and it looks like this. And even though it looks pretty difficult, I actually went through the steps and it's not really as extremely hard as you may think by looking at it. Basically, we're gonna make a rope plate at the back of our head, and then but it's gonna go only from kind of like this part up to the lower part of the head, and then these sides we're gonna do the Dutch plaits, and then we're gonna just incorporate everything together. Okay, so to start this, what I'm doing, I'm just kind of like separating things in the different sections, so I had the chance to brush through, and now I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm taking this parting up approximately to the place where I want to start my rope plait. Oh my god, I learned how to say rope plait. Okay, this is not exactly very straight. Okay, let me check if I could do it, if I could fix this. So basically in the middle of my head I have a scar, and if I have a scar, so if I do a parting which is completely straight, you can basically see the scar. So I don't really want my scar on my head to show. So, and it's something that happened to me when I was a very small child, so there is nothing I can do about it now. And for the scar not to be seen, actually I never talked about it. I just kind of like don't do my partings like very straight. So, okay. So I think if I'm gonna do it like this, so I'm just gonna show you how it's gonna look at the back. So kind of like I did like hair parting up until approximately here. Okay, let's see. Let's use the mirror now that I'm back to civilization. Okay, so I'll do another section approximately at the same height, so I can, like, if I cannot see when I'm doing it, I just approximately feel where it is approximately, and then I know that I did the parting up until probably above my ear, just a little bit behind my ear, and I separated this section. So I separated this section, including this bit here, and then I just kind of like tie it in a little kind of some like ponytail or something, just to put them away, because we're going to be working with the hair at our back for now. So the hair at the back will be used for a rope plait bun. So from this hair here, what we would do, actually it feels like it's not that much hair left that I separated, but that's fine. So we create basically a ponytail kind of at the low nape area, like so. I used double hairband because it kind of keeps the base stronger. Now I take whatever the ponytail I have and I do a rope plait with this. So I twisted it towards this side, so now I need to twist it over each other. This side. I think I have a deja vu of re-experiencing my rope plait nightmare, my rope plait nemesis days, where I had so much problem with creating a simple rope plait, because somehow spinning gets all spinned in my head, and then I lose the sense of which direction I'm supposed to do this. But I think it's fine now. Actually, wait a minute, I'm just gonna do it again. Okay, so twist it in one direction and then twist it over each other in opposite direction. Twist it in one direction and twist it over each other. Twist it in one direction and twist it in opposite direction. Like this. That's how we create a rope plait. Yeah. Like this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think, you know, some things when you learn how to do it, you forget how to do it mentally. It's kind of like a mechanical movement. So when you think, at least for me, it's like when I think how to do it, I get confused. Is it that way or that way around? But then when I kind of just allow the mechanical movement of, okay, rope plait is, you just basically twist the strands of the hair, both of them in the same direction, and then you twist it around each other in the opposite direction, then it becomes, you know, like much easier. Okay, so I'm not gonna make it super tight. So I was making it tight just to make sure there is a pattern, but now that I'm at the end, I'm just kind of allowing it to loosen up a little bit. And I'm gonna use this hairband to secure the end. And then I'm just gonna flatten it a little bit just to give a little bit of volume. So with the rope plait, the volume is a bit risky business. It's not the same as your normal 3-strand plait, but you can still do it. So with this one, you need to be a bit careful not to create too much of messiness, because rope plait most of the time is tidy, nice pattern. And then after you've done that, you basically twist this rope plait around the base of your ponytail, and then you secure it. Actually, I'm going to be using these classical pins to secure it, because I think in my case it works better. The hair grips that I have, which I bought, the metal ones are amazing. The tiny ones, they are very good. They don't really slip out, but oh my god, they've been pulling my hair so much that right now I'm like, I feel sorry for my hair, and I just want to keep away from them, because I think during my holiday in the last week, I've been using them probably nearly every day, and every single time. So to hold the hairstyle, they are fine, but when I need to pull them out, they just get so entangled in the hair, and it's really hard to actually take them out. So now I'm just using this old-fashioned tried and tested method of hairpins and just pinning it in a hair plait in my rope plait everywhere. Okay, I can see I have a bit of a hair sticking out here, but that's fine. So I'm gonna leave it like this for now, because we are not done yet. So the next step is to create a Dutch plait. So Dutch plait, so we create Dutch plait up until halfway of our head, and then we continue with the simple 3-strand plait. If you have a partner to do this hairstyle, probably it's easier, but in my case, the partners are scared of working on my hairstyles. these hairstyles, they're a bit tricky these days, so I'm working on my own. Okay, so I'm taking section from the front and I divide it in 3 parts, and I start off with taking the bottom bit and putting it under, and then taking the top bit and putting it under. And that's how we start off with Dutch plait. Then we take extra hair from the bottom, and every single time we're going to be plaiting a section of the hair in the middle. From either side we're going to be adding some hair. So right now, for example, I'm adding some hair to the section that was on the top, and I'm putting it in the middle. And now I'm taking some hair which is underneath, and I'm putting it in the middle. The Dutch plait is very strong hairstyle, very strong, because your hair really kind of like stays where they are, at least in my experience. It's probably the most reliable plait. The most reliable plait if you want your hair, for example, you're going to be jumping and running around and you have long hair and you want them to stay, Dutch plait. So far for me, Dutch plait I think is the most solid construction that is simple. Once you know how to make it, it's not really that tricky. It's the basically inverted version of a French plait. French plait is also beautiful, but I found the Dutch plait is a little bit firmer, because it's kind of like, as you can see, it's kind of like, it's flat to your scalp, and then the plait is kind of like on the top. You get the pattern on the top. French plait gives you more volume, and I think it can look very elegant. Dutch plait, in my opinion, looks cool. Dutch plaits are cool. And now that I started, I think I already noticed this before, but I went on holiday in Sardinia and I actually started noticing, oh my god, this hair style, for example Dutch plait, this, for example, air hostess has a Dutch plait. This other girl waiting at the bus stop has. So once you run out of the hair to add to your Dutch plait, which is going to be around here, you need to continue with the simple 3-strand plait, which is what I'm doing now. So this is the point. We're going to be wrapping these 2 side plaits around our bun. So that's why it kind of like the whole combination will be quite decorative. Decorative, I like the word. Very elegant word. So, and I think hairstyle like that you can use for like really quite a few occasions. If you, well, I don't think you have to add many accessories, but if you wanted, you could, because any kind of buns, updo things that you create, then later, you know, if there are any pins or anything, you can add some flowers, pearls, bows, ribbons, and you know, just work with that. Okay, so I'm gonna do this on this side as well. So starting off exactly the same way, taking section from the front, then dividing it in 3 parts, and the other side I started from the bottom section, plaiting from the bottom under the middle section, and then doing the same with the top. So once again, if that's the first time you seeing Dutch plait, you have 3 sections. You take the sidemost section and you put it under the middle section as your new middle section, and then you take the top side and you put it under, and that's how you started the Dutch plait. And then you just keep adding extra hair from both sides. So for example, right now I'll be adding some extra hair from the bottom of my hair, and then I'm gonna be putting it under. Then I'm gonna be adding extra hair from the top section here, and then putting it under like this. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. So today we returned to UK. The holiday had lots of challenges. It had some really good moments as well, but it had lots of challenges, you know, kind of like a figure out the way around. It had like also tensions. I was feeling stressed a few times, but then we kind of like towards the end we almost cracked the code, I think, of what to do, how to do, and it started to feel much more easy. I actually learned quite a few things about myself. One thing that they say you should never cut down on is experience, like life experience. Do not be stingy with life experience. If you have opportunity to have life experience, go and have life experience. I think with the digital culture, and I say we because I'm somebody who is cross generation. I'm somebody who was born without mobile phone, and they only appeared when I was like 17, and then they appeared earlier, but I only got my own when I was 17. And then also, like, you know, all the internet, Facebook and social media started when I was in my 20s, and then my 30s, and now I'm in my mid 30s. I'm 36 now, and yeah, and the things that, so it's not so much reminiscing, but I'm just talking about experiences. So for example, when you're in a strange country and you don't have everything figured out for yourself, you have to walk, for example, and try to find things. You need to try to communicate. Sometimes your internet doesn't work, your translator doesn't work. You need to learn how to kind of talk to people, explain what you need, ask questions. It teaches you completely different things than Googling things and, you know, knowing everything that is going on. So those experiences might feel pretty like stressful and difficult while you in them, experiencing them. But once the stress is over, okay, now just so you know, I finished my Dutch plaiting, and now I'm only going to be working 3-strand plait. I found another part of the hair. Okay, I'm just going to add it there. Once you're out of that experience, then it feels like it was adventure. While you're in it, sometimes it doesn't feel so enjoyable. It feels like, okay, you're put in the situations of stress where you need to figure out your way. And there is nothing as character building and eye-opening as being put in the situations of stress or situations where you require kind of like, you know, you don't really have all of your tools that you have when you're in this civilized digital world where you can understand the language. Even though I am foreigner, but I still can understand English, you know, after living here for 15 years is pretty easy for me. And then another country, you can barely, I speak Italian basic, and sometimes I don't know how to connect the phrases. I just know, you know, some keywords. So that was actually very useful, I must say, very useful. But at the same time, it's like, it just feels so different when you need to express yourself and you don't know how. Also, your relationship, if you go with your partner like I did, under situations of stress, you can actually, okay, you see how you react, you see how he reacts, you see, you know, your interactions, and you learn things about your dynamics, and you, most importantly, you learn things about yourself. So I learned that my first way to actually relieve stress is crying, actually. And I used to think, okay, oh my god, it's not good that I'm crying. But now I think, you know what? If I was in a situation of stress and then I cried, I relieved the stress, And then after that, it feels like that thing is finished. I don't really hold it. It actually fits into trauma theory. By the way, I'm just gonna flatten these plaits out a little bit, just a little bit. And so I actually realized usefulness because I could feel, there were a few stressful situations in a row, or one next to each other, and I noticed, okay, that's what I do. I stress, I cry. I stress, I cry. I stress, I feel I don't know what to do. I'm just very kind of like lost. I cry. Okay, so there is a trauma that needs integrated, but at the same time, it's my primary way of coping with the situation or with the stress. Also, I figured out the things that I need. So you kind of like learn about your needs. What things are important for you when you're in the situations of stress. Also, the things that you don't want to experience or the things that you want to experience. So it's like a intensified contrast. And then I was also thinking about the thing that I really don't like stress. So why I'm being put under so much stress in that trip? And then I realized I have resistance to stress. So I have some idea about stress, and I probably have a fear and doubt in my own ability to cope with that. So I'm suppressing stress. And if I'm suppressing stress, if you're suppressing stress, if any of us suppressing stress, you know what happens? It comes out in the circumstances in your life. So that's what happened with me. So I was suppressing stress or my reactivities to stress, and therefore these situations kept on coming up. So I was like, okay, maybe I should release resistance to stress. And in one of situations that we were in when my partner lost his phone, I was sitting at the bus stop, and I could see there was a bar, and it said, has a little thing saying, relax. And I was thinking, is that some sort of message that I should take? I don't see how the situation is going to resolve itself. But then, guess what? It did. And after that, I only made a really strong connection after that. So I was like, maybe what is trying to teach me all of this thing. I try to suppress stress, but I need to allow the stress to kind of go through and then relax. Learn to relax. Stop trying to control things. So, releasing resistance to stress, and also just basically learning that you can cope with the stress if the stress comes up, and starting to trust in your ability to deal with the situation when it comes up, and also learn to relax. Basically, that's the message. Learn to relax, learn to let go, that kind of thing, because I think at some points I just spend too much time stressing about the things that I cannot change. Now it's much less than I used to spend, but still probably I could be more relaxed about some things where there is really not much change I can make by being stressed. So, okay, next step, now coming back to the hairstyle, is we wrap the plaits across the bun and we connect them with the hairpin. Okay, I'm just gonna check if it's better to do it over the top of the bun or over the bottom. Okay, I think I'm gonna do it over the top of the hair bun. So we basically take the side plait, and we can also take this side plait, and we wrap them around the hairband. We hide the ends, and we secure the sides with pins if you have pins. I think in my case the end bits are pretty long, so I may have to use more hairpins than average, but that's fine. for example, okay, I can feel there is a hair sticking here, so I'm just gonna tuck it under and then pin it over with a hairpin so it doesn't come out. Then I can feel it is somewhere here. I can't see it very well, so I'm just gonna check. It's kind of sticking here, so I'm just gonna use another pin, but I'm gonna use this type of pin to neatly hide it under. So for example, this hair here, I'm just gonna nicely, neatly pin it under the plate like this. I may do that on the other side as well, because I have another hairpin. So you can see a bit of plait on here. The important thing is not to feel sorry for the number of pins that you're using. Okay. I can see some of the yellow plait being out, and I would like to hide that, so I'm going to be using another pin to tuck it under and to neatly put it under the bun. So you can do, when you have lots of hair or you have plaits, you can play with it whichever way you know it works into a neat hairstyle, like so. So this is a hairdo updo for today, and yeah, I actually feel good today. Now that I'm back, I feel like I can appreciate things that I have in here much better than I did before. And I feel now that the stress has dissipated a lot. Now I'm in my familiar environment and I feel very safe. So the moral of the story is also, if I haven't experienced the stress and adventure, I would not really have appreciated what I have in here. I even kind of like, we came back home and I was like, oh my God, everything is so well organized. Everything looks so tidy. We have this thing and we have this thing. Oh my God, this is so convenient. We even went to Tesco before returning home and like, oh my God, it has this product and that product and this product and that product. I think going away and experiencing something like that is very important. Only even if it's just because to kind of give you this renewal of appreciation of what you already have. So that's another thing, I think. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go and rest now. I thank you for your attention and sharing this journey with me. And I also wanted to wish you for today and for the future, do not hold back on life experiences. If you can choose life experiences, but to choose not to have any experience is really to miss out on lots of expansion and also on lots of renewal and lots of self-awareness. So I wish you to have experiences that makes you grow and to allow them to do what it has to do in the healthiest and most useful and profound way for you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.